He was experiencing great joy by seeing Krishna in his heart. And the Lord suddenly disappeared. He was feeling ecstasy and enjoyment. Suddenly, Lord has disappeared. When Lord has disappeared, he felt so disappointed. He started looking here and there, searching. And again, he tried the same method like he had tried earlier, meditating on the Lord in the heart. He tried the same again, but he is not able to see, not able to get the vision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead again. So he was very disturbed. He started searching for Krishna everywhere. Then he heard Asharira Vani. He heard a voice from the sky. He's not able to see God, he's not able to see Krishna, but he heard the word of Krishna. So, what he heard, what Krishna spoke to Narada, that is what today we are going to discuss. So, that is interesting. So, now let us start with the prayers. I'll share my screen for all of you to chant the prayers. Please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hello.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hello.
Om Namo
Jai
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Jai Rati
Om
karta
Namo
मी
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
इथं बाबा
Narayanam Namaskritya.
वय
Narayanam
वय
Namaskritya.
Naram
ओ
Chaiva
हो हो
Narottamam.
Naram
जय देवा
Chaiva
जय जय अडना मा
Devim
ओके देवा ऑल द बेस्ट
Saraswatim
सौख्यस ना बाबा तू
Vyasam.
Devim
ओके
Saraswatim
समझ
Vyasam.
जाव
Tato
जय तवा
Jayamudirayeet.
नाउ कोण कॉल पड़े मगिरी लाइक कोण कर ऑल द बेस्ट लाइक गत पड़ा बाय मा बाय
Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu.
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
नित्यं
Nityam
भागवते
Bhagavata
सेवया
Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
श्लोके
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki.
So all of you mute yourself now. So now we shall discuss for today's verse. So Bhaskar Rao ji, please mute yourself, or the coordinator can mute him. So now let us start with the first verse of today's discussion. This is spoken by Krishna to that small boy who was looking for him. So that is the context. So now you please unmute yourself. Those who are not in a noisy atmosphere, unmute yourself. Let us chant this verse. Sakrityadarshitam rupam
Sakradarshitarupam.
etat kamayate nagha
Etat kamayate nagha.
matkamaha shanakai sadhu sarvan munchati hrichayan.
Sarvan muchati hrichayan.
So please mute yourself. Now I will explain. All of you please mute. All the participants requested to mute. Okay. So, O virtuous one, You have only once seen my person. And this is just to increase your desire for me. Because the more you hanker for me, the more you'll be freed from all material desires. Very nice. Krishna is saying. The purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, a living being cannot be vacant of desires. We'll always have desires in our heart. Because desiring is the faculty of the soul. We cannot become desireless. Desireless means you're dead. If you have a consciousness, a Atma also has a desire. It is explained, Swartha Gatim hai Vishnu. Actually, the real desire of Atma is Vishnu. So he is not dead stone. He must be working, thinking, feeling, willing. But when he thinks and feels and wills materially, he becomes entangled. Materially means what? To fulfill our desires of sense gratification. I should enjoy like this, or my family should enjoy like this, or my country should enjoy like this. This is called extended selfishness. Srila Prabhupada explains, when a child is born, the small child, every soul becomes very selfish of the body. So the first selfishness of the child is to the child herself or itself. Anything you go, the food is not supplied, some kind of uncomfortable, child will simply cry. So anything you give to child will put in its mouth. Even if you give a coin or some money, child will try to take it inside their mouth. So child is thinking of its body. As the child grows and little better consciousness develops, then the child's selfishness gets extended to mother and father. If anybody comes and beats the mother or punishes the mother, child will cry. You can just try like acting, beating the mother of the child. Child will try to protect her, child will cry. So extended its selfishness. Further, the child grows, and where child starts feeling parents as well as a family, brother, sister, and extended loved ones, family. They got extended selfishness. Further they grow, sometimes they feel about the language. All those who are speaking Kannada, all those who are speaking Malayalam, all those speaking Marathi, they fight. Oh, it's our people, Kannada people, Tulu people, Konkani people. Like this, they speak our language. Selfishness is getting extended. Then it becomes country, or our state. So like this is called, Prabhupada calls this as extended selfishness. The material life, thinking, feeling and willing materially means to selfish or extended selfishness, people work very hard to oneself, one's family, one's society, one's country. It's all material, it's all connected to body. And the body is lost, there is no more connection to that particular family. If a person takes birth in another family or another place, it has no value. Then he cannot understand what has happened to him in the previous life. So this is first knowledge in Bhagavad Gita is this only. We should understand with all seriousness. What if I take a animal body in next life? Nobody can recognize. He is such and such, he is a son of such and such, he was a rich man, he achieved, he went to university, he studied in big reputed college. Nothing will be useful when next body changes. We have to take this instruction of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita very seriously. You should really reflect on this. Krishna says, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. This one knowledge will make you so much happy in the life, because this knowledge is not to make you unhappy. This knowledge is to make you happy, because in our lives unnecessarily developing so much of attachment and greed, we become unhappy. Otherwise, in our life, everything Krishna has given. Think of your life. Krishna has supplied you sufficient food. Krishna has supplied you nice house to stay. Krishna has supplied you have a much better body than so many people. Many people are born without eyes. Many people born without legs. Many people born with some diseases. They don't have food. So many people born without any shelter on their head. There is no house for them. So when I have all these things, because of my extended selfishness and attachment and greed, I am becoming unhappy. The the time you realize that I am not this body, no, this is not my body, I should not too much worried. Soon, today's my identity in the society as a such and such person. Oh, she is a great personality or he is great personality. Will in one moment it will go away as soon as death comes. Very serious message it is. Soon the death comes, then nobody cares. What then you take a body in another species of life or any other place. Who knows you at that time? You yourself will not remember your previous life. When you realize this fact that I am not this body, oh, I am in temporarily. I'm staying in this body temporarily. Then all those unnecessary no anxiety for the future and all those things will immediately will go away, and I'll start working more towards, okay, then what is my real future, not material life. So but when he thinks, feels, wills materially, only materially, I think how to improvise my situations, comforts of my body, comfort of my mind. I want to improve that. That is the goal of my life. I go on improving. How much I improve, I never get satisfied. I want to improve little more. So by working like that in this world, one becomes entangled. Therefore, Krishna is telling in the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, karma, akarma, vikarma. Karma means you get pratiphala for that, reaction for that. That's a material work. That is karma. That's what we do. Vikarma means we do those who do sinful activities. Generally, devotees, generally those who have little religious, they don't do vikarma. They do karma. Vikarma means nishiddhachara, the wrong things which should not be done doing. Then akarma. Krishna says these three things in fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Akarma means not that I am doing my action, but it is not entangling me in this world. It is freeing me from this world. So that kind of actions, akarma, to be performed, that is devotional service. So everybody, Prabhupada says, a living being cannot be vacant of desires. He is not a dead stone. He must be working, thinking, feeling, willing. But when he thinks and feels and wills materially, he becomes entangled. Conversely, when he thinks, feels, wills for the service of the Lord, he becomes gradually freed from the entanglement. When he starts doing service, seva for Krishna, slowly, slowly one gets entangled. Material entanglement is actually very, very dangerous and fearful. More we try to become happy materially, more we get entangled. We must be aware of this. Material world is compared to cobweb. Cobweb, when in the forest you see sometimes big cobweb, and in our homes also we see cobwebs. And if a insect goes and gets stuck to the cobweb, and the insects try to release itself somehow, or try to come out of that cobweb, more the insect tries to come out, the more the cobweb, that gum, that gel will get intervened and not able to come out of it. It will become more and more stiff. Material world is like that. More you want to unnecessarily, okay, what you needed you should take. We need good food to eat. We need good place to stay. You need good family to continue your life. You need all those good things so that comfortably you can chant Hare Krishna, comfortably you can render devotional service. That is not denied in Bhagavatam. What is denied is having all those things and still unnecessarily working very hard to further and further and further improvise this material enjoyment. That is simply an entanglement in this world. So one should think, feel everything for the service of the Lord. More a person is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, more he acquires a hankering for it. Now, hankering for it, I want to talk about. Okay, here what is Krishna saying? My dear Narada Muni, I appeared for you to just to create that hankering, laulyam, lalasa, laulyam for the Lord, to create that laulyam, that eagerness, that hankering for the Lord. Just by coming, you got desire now. I should get Krishna in my life. I took to create that only I came. Now more you hanker, now I left you hankering for me. Because if I leave you hankering for me, more and more you hanker for me, more you'll get freed from the material desires. This is the principle of Krishna consciousness. Here there is a verse written by Rupa Goswami, which is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Swarup Ramananda Raya. What Ramananda Raya say? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitha Matihi Kriyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukrutair Nalabhyate. Very nice. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitha Matihi. This is where Srila Prabhupada has named our society as Krishna Consciousness Society. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitha Matihi. Okay. Where pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activity in hundreds and thousands of life. Janma koti sukriti bhi na labhyate. That pure bhakti for Krishna, it is not available. Janma koti, not one life. One life only. Sometimes we ask, why Prabhuji, I am chanting, still I am not developing attachment for Krishna. Prabhuji, I am reading, I am doing this. When will I get attachment for Krishna? I am not getting. It is said, Janma koti sukritivina prabhyat. It's not easy to develop attraction and attachment, pure devotional service for Krishna. It can be attained only by paying price. There is one price you have to pay to get Krishna in your life. What is that price? That price is Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekam. Only one maulya is there. Only one price. Ekam, ekalam. Only one maulya. What is that? Tatra laulyam. Tatra laulyam means that is intense greed to obtain it. If it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without delay. Anywhere one gets kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate. Immediately one should buy that. What is that? Laulyam. Laulyam means eagerness or intense greed to obtain it. Meaning, it is not easy to get Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, you see that it is said, Naham prakashah sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. Meaning, Krishna is saying, I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency. Therefore, they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. So very difficult. Naham prakashah sarvasya. For everybody, Krishna is not available. Yogamaya samavritah. I am covered by my internal potency, yogamaya. Therefore, it is not possible to see Krishna. Therefore, sometimes Duryodhana came in front of Krishna, but he did not understand that is Krishna. Shakuni came in front of Krishna, but did not understand he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that, Kamsa and all the Shishupala, all of them, they are not able to understand it is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. So then how to get, you have to develop eagerness for Krishna. So the practical tips to develop eagerness, Srila Prabhupada explains, one should associate with the devotees and discuss about Krishna. Read Srimad Bhagavatam and chant Hare Krishna mantra. Perform Sankirtana, chanting and dancing for Krishna. This way, one has to develop that eagerness for Krishna. Presently, we don't have eagerness. Now, we have eagerness for sense enjoyment. You suddenly somebody says, you have got a jackpot, you have, you can, for you, a foreign trip, we will give you as a free. You can go to Switzerland and come back. A 10-day tour is free. You got very special jackpot or lottery. Very eager. We want to go, enjoy and come. So we should reflect in our heart to see how much eagerness we have to enjoy materially. We do not have that eagerness to get Krishna, you see, in our life. So you have to develop that eagerness by practice of devotional service as given by the spiritual master, the Guru. Then slowly as we develop eagerness, if you're getting, don't leave anywhere. Immediately purchase it. Rupa Goswami is saying, immediately purchase. If any market, anywhere you are finding eagerness, immediately purchase. That means it is very important. Eagerness to see Krishna. Prabhupada gave two examples for this. One thief, you heard this story many times. One thief was hearing Srimad Bhagavata Katha. In the Kathakar of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kathakar was telling, Vrindavan mein itna sundar balak Krishna Bhagavan. So he what he does? So he goes to jungle. His mother decorates him with the beautiful jewelries. So thief was hearing very attentively. Thieves will be always looking. Where is gold? Where is money? Where I can steal tomorrow? Whose house I can go in the night? Thief will be always doing the plans. When the thief heard this, there is one small boy in the forest wearing jewelries. He developed eagerness to meet that boy. For whatever purpose, his idea was, I'll take the jewelries from Krishna. So he stood back in the class till the last, then went to the speaker and asked a question. Generally, when we give class or session, very interested people will ask some questions at the end because they want to know more. Very few people can develop such kind of interest. So this boy, this thief went to, where is Krishna staying? He's asking very genuine, nicely questions. So Kathakar is maybe thinking, so sincere he is. He wants to see Krishna, you see, by hearing my class. Yes, he wants to see Krishna, but what is the uddesha? What is the purpose? Purpose is to steal the ornaments of Krishna. Kathakar said, yes, he will be in this forest, he will become. So the thief goes to the Vrindavana forest. As the direction of the Kathakar, he's so eager to see Krishna. Krishna thought, let me appear for him. Akamo va sarvakamo va mokshakamo va udharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purushaha puman. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Akamo va sarvakamo va mokshakamo va udharati. Akamova, you don't have any desire. Sarvakamova, you have all the desires in this world. Mokshakamova, you have desire for the liberation, moksha. In any of this condition, Yajataha Purushaha Puman. One should Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. One should render devotional service and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Akama, Sarvakama, Mokshakama. Why? By being in touch with Krishna, you'll get purified. So thief went and saw the boy, and he went immediately, wanted to take the jewelries. But he thought, any small boy, let me little play with him. And he asked the boy, can you please give me your jewelries? Krishna said, no, 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 my mother will scold me. So Krishna is also acting like a small boy. So basically, Krishna wants to have interaction with the thief and purify him. Krishna is very merciful. By coming in touch with Krishna for prolonged time, you'll get purified. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, thinking of Krishna, what is happening? You're touching Krishna. By touching Krishna, you'll get purified. Just like iron. The iron kept in the fire. For prolonged keeping in the fire, the iron also will become fire. If you take out that iron and touch anything, that will catch fire. Because iron has become fire by keeping in touch with the fire. Krishna is like fire. We are like iron. Being in touch with Krishna, we will also acquire those good qualities. So thief engaged, Krishna engaged the thief in conversations. After some time, Krishna said, okay, all right, now you take all the jewelries. Now the thief being completely purified, Kachan Vichinnam Mapidivyaratnam, just like Dhruva Maharaj said, what is this? I don't want these garlands, my dear Krishna. I want you. I want to be with you like this every day. I want to enjoy with you. I want to just stay with you. I want to assist you. I want to serve you. I don't want anything else. So thief got purified. But a thief came with the eagerness to see Krishna for some whatever purpose. Dhruva Maharaj went to search of Vishnu, eagerness to see Vishnu. For what? To ask Vishnu a kingdom bigger than the father. Gopika Stris in Vrindavana. Not all the Gopikas. Some Gopikas are expansions of Radharani, Lakshmi Devis. Some Gopikas in Vrindavana. Krishna was so beautiful. His bodily luster was so attractive. So they became lusty after Krishna. They're so attracted. So they left everything and ran behind Krishna out of lust. But they went behind Krishna. So they got purified. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Whatever purpose it may be, if you come to Krishna, you're saved. You're saved. Many people would have come to temple of, to attend some program so that I'll get some, free food. Many people come to Iskcon temple, I get free food. When I was a student in engineering college, I used to go to Iskcon temple and they used to give Sunday evening very nice feast. And I would calculate my bus charge is this much. And the quality of the food which Iskcon is giving Sunday evening is around this much. Okay, if I spend 25 rupees for the bus, I get 100 rupees food. Oh, paise vasool ho gaya. So it's a very good deal. At 25 rupees, I can get 100 rupees food. So like this, some people can come for the food also. But they have come where? They come to Krishna. They had Krishna Prasadam. They danced for Krishna, chanting for Krishna. They get purified. There are many examples. In the movement of Iskcon, Srila Prabhupada started, there are hundreds of examples. Devotees came for different purposes. Once I explained, one thief came. He saw a golden watch in Prabhupada's hand. He came to steal Prabhupada's watch. He came to steal Prabhupada's watch and finally he became devotee. Prabhupada then handed over his watch. He took. He said, no, I don't want your watch. So like this is what we have to develop eagerness for Krishna. First of all, chant, read, render devotional service. One more tips I will tell you. In all these aspects of Krishna consciousness, something is very much your nature, you like that. Somebody likes to sing, or somebody likes to cooking. Somebody likes to make a garland. Somebody likes to speak to people and involve them in Krishna consciousness, preaching or fundraising. So you are liking, you should involve in that. Somebody likes to read, you should read. So yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niyojaya. It is said, in whatever way possible, it is said in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami, yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niyojaya. Somehow or other, our monkey mind should be controlled, should be engaged in thinking of Krishna. It is not thinking directly, it's always thinking of sense enjoyment. It is always thinking of material happiness. You should connect. You should serve Krishna. You should connect your activities to the service of Krishna. This way, very intelligently, under the direction of a experienced devotee, you should engage yourself in the service of Krishna. If you do that, you will develop slowly the eagerness for Krishna. Tatra laulyam ekalo maulyam. There's only one maulya, only one, that is laulyam, the greed or eagerness to see Krishna. If you get that, immediately buy in your life. So scriptures say like that. So we must all work towards developing eagerness. More you develop eagerness, more you'll be freed from all material desires. Getting freed from the material desires is making us more happy. To make you better understand, imagine this material desire. Somebody's material desire is to drink alcohol. They every day want to drink alcohol. Is it not good to get freed from the desire to drink alcohol? Now we'll immediately understand. Yeah, it's good to get freed from the desires to drink alcohol, which is not good. Like that, the material desires are. Why like that? Because drinking alcohol will eventually deteriorate that person's health, family relationships, and so many other things. Very easily see. Same way, material desires will eventually give us suffering, entanglement and suffering. There's a reaction for what we do. We should be mindful what we do. Therefore, one should develop eagerness and hankering for me. So Krishna, out of his mercy, shown himself to Narada Muni for some time. So Narada Muni felt eagerness to see Krishna. So that Krishna intentionally, Krishna says, I have done it intentionally so that he increased the desire to see me. Okay, go to next verse. Unmute yourself. Satsevaya dhirgayapi
तत्सेवया दीर्घ
गयापि
jata mayi dridhamatihi
ज्ञाता मयि दृढमतिः
jata mayi dridhamatihi
ज्ञाता मयि
दृढमतिः
hitva vadyam imam lokam
हित्वा
हित्वावत्यमिमं लोकम्
ganta majjanatamasi
गन्तामत्तामसि
ganta majjanatamasi.
गन्तामज्जनतामसि
Please mute yourself. By the service of the absolute truth, even for few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. The deplorable material worlds, once he gives up, he becomes associate of Krishna. How? By service of the absolute, even for few days. Even little bit, if you do service to Krishna, you fix your minds get attached, intelligence get fixed in Krishna, then you will become associate of Krishna in the spiritual world. Serving the absolute truth means rendering service. It's very important. Please hear this. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Serving the absolute truth means rendering service unto the absolute personality of Godhead under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. Why? Who is spiritual master is a transparent medium between Lord and the neophyte devotee. We are called neophyte devotees. Sometimes we feel to do service for Krishna and sometimes we feel to sleep. We don't want to do anything. Sometimes we feel attraction for Krishna, sometimes we feel attraction for the material things. They're called neophyte devotees. We are very flickering, very new devotees. We should not count how many years we are come to Krishna consciousness. We should see how much we are stabilized ourselves as a devotee of Krishna. So the neophyte devotees, so under the guidance of the spiritual master, a neophyte devotee has no ability to approach the absolute personality of Godhead by the strength of his present imperfect material senses. Now we don't have powers to approach God, and therefore, under the direction of the spiritual master, he is trained in the transcendental service of the Lord. Then the spiritual master will train. And by such training, even for some days, neophyte devotee gets intelligence in such transcendental service. Sometimes we get to hear some real life stories. You know, many of devotees and disciples of Srila Prabhupada, many of the Western disciples from 1967, 68, 70s, many of them actually now no more. Many of them have passed away also. They are not there. So recently I was reading one news of one devotee passing away. The devotee was going through a bodily illness, some kind of ill health, which is supposed to be very, very painful as per the doctor's diagnosis. It must be very painful. But the devotee was not at all feeling pain. He used to chant. And on the day when he is leaving the body, he called some of his friend devotees. They all did kirtan. And in Vrindavan, nicely smiling, happily, that devotee left the body. There also one more devotee's example who had come to Srila Prabhupada and rendered service very nicely for few years. After that, he gave up the service of Krishna. He went back to his past sinful life. He became again sinful man. And in his last moments of his life, his relatives told to the devotees, just he was leaving the body, he murmured, Prabhupada is coming, Prabhupada is coming. And he said that and left the body. Though he had left Prabhupada and went for his sinful life, at the time of death, Prabhupada did not leave him. He came, he could see Prabhupada. He did not see Yamadutas, he saw Prabhupada. So this is the mercy of devotee, the pure devotee, spiritual master. We are very, very neophytes. We can't, no, we are keep flickering. But somehow or other, if you engage yourself in the service of the Lord, like many of you are rendering service in our new temple project, you're going and raising funds, speaking. It's an all great thing. After Janma Janmantara, we get an opportunity to serve the Lord. We are doing for Lord, it's for nobody's profit, not none of our personal profit. And such a devotee will be remembered by the spiritual master and God, Krishna. So like that, one should render devotional service. By such training, even for some days, a neophyte devotee gets intelligence in such transcendental service, which leads him ultimately get free from the perpetual inhabitation in the material worlds and to be promoted to the transcendental world to become one of the liberated associates of the Lord in the kingdom of God. And we should remember all this purports and translation is written by Prabhupada when he was in Vrindavan before going to America. 1962-63, before even going to US, before that plan had manifested, Prabhupada was writing all these purports. Sitting in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, Prabhupada was writing all these purports. Okay, let us go to the next verse. Please unmute yourself. Matirmayi nibaddheyam na vipaddheta karhi chet Raja sarga nirodhepi vritischa madhu anugrahat. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time. Even at the time of creation, as well as the time of annihilation, your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Krishna was saying, if you think of me, if you remember me, if you engage in my service with your intelligence, it will not go away when you give up your body. Forget about giving up this body. Even at the time of one kalpa, when Brahma's lifetime ends and the whole creation gets annihilated, pralaya happens. Next time again creation happens. Your intelligence to engage in the seva of Krishna will remain with you by the mercy of Krishna with you. You will continue to, once a devotee is always a devotee, you will be always at the shelter of Krishna. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. So in the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna said this. Okay, last verse of today's discussion. Please repeat. Etavat ukto pararama tanmahad etavadukto pararama tanmahad bhutam nabholingam Bhutam nabholingam aham cha tasmai mahata mahiyase aham cha tasmai mahata mahiyase Shishnava namam vidhate anukampitaha Krishnava vidhate anukampitaha
विदते अनुकम्पितः.
Okay, mute yourself. Then that supreme authority, now Narada is saying, then that supreme authority, personified by the sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stopped speaking. Feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances unto him, bowing my head. So Narada paid his obeisances, bowed his head down, and he stopped hearing this Asharira Vani, the noise, the sound which was the transcendental sound which was coming from the sky. So he heard this, the Lord speaking all these things. So Lord is basically saying, in this life, you render devotional service to me. Whole life you render devotional service to me, hanker for me, think of me, you continue to do this. At the end of this creation, you will be remembering by my mercy, you will come back to me. So with that message, the Lord has given. Actually, if you look at, that is what Krishna is saying even in Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. See how much Lord is merciful. He tells in Bhagavad Gita, he tells in Bhagavatam, he tells in various scriptures, please think of me, render service to me, worship me. This way you will come to me, you will no more suffer in this material world. So this is how the Lord is saying, no, he is ready to take us back, provided we surrender to him. So that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was not seen, but only heard does not make any difference. Because Krishna is a sound and Krishna himself is same. The personality of Godhead produced the 4 Vedas by his breathing. He is seen and realized through the transcendental sound of the Vedas. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is sound representation of Lord. There is no difference in identity. The conclusion is that Lord can be seen and heard by the persistent chanting of the transcendental sound. This way, one can see Lord always chanting Hare Krishna mantra, reading Bhagavatam, rendering service to Krishna. We have to spend our life's time and life's energy in progressing towards Krishna like this. If you do this, your life is successful. And eagerness for Krishna will develop, then no more suffering in this material world. That's the goal of life, Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining to us. So with this one section, the next class we will be discussing, having heard this much, what does he do? We also hear many times, isn't it? We also heard in Bhagavad Gita, we heard in Bhagavatam, but we don't implement it. Now, what did Narada Rishi do? Did he implement? What did he do after hearing this from Krishna? That we'll see in the next class. So, with this, I'll conclude today's session. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. So, hope there are no questions. I'll wind up. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki. Shri Srinitai Gauranga ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु,
Hare
धन्यवाद
Krishna.
प्रभु।
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.